Hello, everybody.
Hi,
And
everyone.
hello, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, Jason. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for joining me in the simulcast, I guess would be the way to
Yeah.
call it. And thank you, everybody, for coming today. This is third official guest with Kevin's Loving Vibrations. No storm yet?
It's been there's been lightning I've been seeing out of my basement window off and
Okay.
on, but I think we're good. I think
Okay.
it's supposed to settle down between like 7 and 8. So hopefully, knock on wood, it's perfect timing. But if you lose me, that's probably
Okay.
why.
Okay. Yeah, there's storms here possibly too. So
Mm.
if you're watching and we disappear,
Please don't leave. I don't want to be
Yeah.
in your window and turn the power back on.
Yeah. So hoping for the best.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
Yeah. So if you want to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my name's Kevin Chandler. I'm a Reiki master, an empath, intuitive. For anybody watching on Jason's channel, my channel is Kevin Loving Vibrations. Typically, I do a political show on Tuesdays, and me and Mel Dore will rotate off of each other's channels doing political. And, every now and then, some personal readings and even some Reiki healings. So if you're interested in political or any kind of this work, please go over and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll introduce
What
myself.
about you, Jason? Yeah, I was gonna say. I know that we're streaming on my channel as well. So
Yeah.
my
My name's Jason Tempinski, and I am a QHHT practitioner, which is Dolores Cannon's method for doing regressions and spiritual guidance and tapping into spirit guides and higher self and sometimes galactic communities. Also miraculous healing, and then I also do psychic mediumship, and also like spiritual counseling too. So I kind of dabble in a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, you're juggling a lot too.
Yeah.
I have always been really interested in QHHT and been a big fan of Dolores Cannon's work. I possibly, maybe one day I'll take a class for it because I've always found it really interesting and maybe wanting to learn a little bit into that. I don't know. The only thing with me is, I have a big following on YouTube, and I know with the QHHT, it's only in person, and I don't live in the most, populated city to kind of do that. So I kind of go back and forth between, actually getting clients or, and putting myself out there with that. But I've always really found it fascinating.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, I think the closest practitioner to me is about an hour and a half away.
Okay.
And it's not, Western Colorado's not, I mean, there's interest in it, definitely, but it's more of when people come to see me, this is a secret and I can't talk to my family about this or anyone else, or else they might lock me up. But I mean, it's really, if anything, if you're already kind of working in spirituality, it's so fascinating just to learn about. I mean, questions that seem unanswerable, and you get answers and things like that, especially when it's galactic information. It's just always amazing every session. So
Yeah,
I recommend it, but I understand that's kind of why
So I kind of just went back and forth with. I mean, I think for me and part of my path, being a healer or, a spiritual counselor, those kind of roles really resonate with me and really feel good. So I feel like that would kind of fit with that too. So maybe one day I'll take a class.
Yeah, maybe. And then, I mean, did you have I thought you mentioned that you had questions about it. Did you, is there anything?
Well, I know that it's like kind of like a past life hypnosis, where you're channeling, kind of, or the person's kind of connecting to their past lives and
Mhm.
maybe any trauma or like karmic ties that they're bringing into this life, and then kind of comes the healing's always been the part that I haven't fully understood with it, like how you do that. Um, if you just want to kind of share with everybody a little
Yeah.
bit more about the process of it.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is it's it's changed a lot, and I think,
Mm,
I mean, not the process always is the same, but just now when Dolores is doing it, it it was a different level of collective consciousness, I guess would
yeah.
be the way to put it. So lifetimes were kind of the way for people to go, but we've just been, especially now, like getting more conscious, more aware, more open.
Mm, yeah, for
Um,
sure.
that the higher selves that are really in control of the sessions know this, so it's they ultimately take people where they need to go. So
Hmm.
sometimes people might come in for the regression, but that's always kind of like a secondary thing. It's accessing those past lives. It's all about helping you in the best way possible. Um, and it's always about this lifetime's most important. And
Yeah.
so the lifetimes aren't as frequent, and it's people go to, um, if galactic council, or they have another lifetime as an extraterrestrial, or they um, might go back in this lifetime in order to see some things that they kind of wrote a different narrative in. So um, it's much more than the past life regression aspect.
Hmm.
The healing is miraculous. It's not even, it's just a matter of asking the spirit teams and the higher selves to do the healings.
Yeah.
It's not always guaranteed. That sometimes people choose specific physical
Hmm.
conditions to experience, or in other cases where some people identify so much with being physically ill or going to the doctor, or that's kind of their whole identity.
Yeah.
They won't do that because it's like, if we take that away, she's not going to know who she is.
Mm,
Um, but ultimately, you know, it's the understanding that the physical body, anything that we experience, is a message from our spirit team. Um, and if people understand what it is, which that's part of the healing process, like, why is this person's foot hurting? The higher self will answer. And if it's all the other conditions are met, it's like, can you do this healing? And
yeah.
they'll do it. And I've heard bones popping and feet cracking and
Mm,
spines being realigned, and
very
it's
cool.
yeah, it's just funny because every time it happens, it's pretty, I don't know, it's awesome in the moment, but then afterwards I think about it, it's like I just was talking with an extraterrestrial, or
Right.
I just saw someone's back get completely realigned. But
Mm.
so it's really powerful, and it's
And
awesome.
I'm sure with the shift going on, or like as Dolores Cannon would say, like the new Earth. I'm sure just the messages are, just really evolving and getting bigger because there's so many people awakening right now.
Yeah,
With all the changes. Yeah.
yeah, it's I a couple months ago I had someone come to see me from Salt Lake City, which
Mhm.
is 3 or 4 hours from here, and he grew up Mormon, and he had a Mormon family and everything else. And one morning he woke up, and I know this is the case with some people with this shift going on.
Mm.
It was just like all these switches for abilities had been turned on in his
Yeah.
body every night. And he was like having visions. He would see like events happening 2 hours before they actually happen. He would see
Okay.
people. And so he was having like dreams, really powerful dreams that he was in other dimensions doing stuff. And he started doing writing where he could write a letter to a spirit guide and then like channel back a letter in itself again. And he was like, I definitely can't talk to anyone about this, and I can't go see a psychologist, psychiatrist, because they'll lock me up. And it's that what you said, that's totally, it's, you know, some people's abilities and awareness is just being flipped on.
Yeah, it's been a really hard time, you know, and I don't think that you do the politics, but I mean, even since, you know, with Trump being in office, really exposing a lot of the negativity, and then, you know, then we had COVID, which I think was really that huge thing for so many people, you know, where it kind of made the world stop, and people really had to reevaluate what's serving them and what to release. And even since then, you know, like all of the hard lessons that we're learning right now, but with those hard times that we're going through, really, those are those opportunities for us to grow and to really evolve, and, you know, to raise our vibrational energy. So yeah, so many people, feels like everybody I give a reading to is going through major transitions in their life right now.
Yeah, it's happening. I mean, I really started getting messages through sessions, and it's kind of interesting because I mean the sessions are about the client. And they never reveal or tell a client anything that they can't handle or they're not supposed to know.
Spirit does that too.
And so there is that filter, but then a lot of the stuff that's been going through lately, it's almost like I'm the only one who hears it, because the client, when they come out, they don't want to listen to it because it's just too much. So it's, I don't want to say they're communicating with me, but every time as a practitioner that we do the work, it's when we tap into the higher self and everything else, it's like contacting a friend, because they are fully aware of other sessions. It's pretty crazy. But the information, like last year, was about 250 years, roughly, give or take, these things would start happening. And then right after the Schumann resonance shift, I found that it's within the next year, and stuff would start happening in September. So it's, you know,
and then I've said for a while, I feel a lot of kind of craziness going on in the world in September. September for me is kind of, it feels like it's really massive, and it's not just in the US, it's worldwide. Yeah,
it's my senses. I mean, they haven't told me directly. I mean, it's kind of been vague, but I feel like it's going to be the major shift, change. I mean, Earth physical changes with flooding and basically the Earth giving itself a big bath.
A lot of and even like a lot of like storm activities in the coastal areas and all of that.
And I mean, what you just said too, because I said, why the flooding? And they said, there's just Gaia is conscious and the Earth is conscious, and she is waking up, and there's a lot of residual built up negative dark energy that's just stuck in some areas of the world. They need to be released, and that's the flooding. That's how it happens. And they even gave me an example of like Hurricane Katrina. They said during that part of the country in early America, there was a lot of violence and hatred and everything. And so that in itself was a type of cleansing as well. So
I think that cleansing is a good word for it. That's really what's going on. And even if you think of all the fires and everything that's been going on, all that smoke is really kind of just purging and cleansing a lot of heavy, stagnant energy.
It's and it, like what you said too, they've talked about even in disaster, on the other side, you know, people realize their humanity and what matters and everything else. And so there is that aspect of, I mean, it's not pleasant to go through.
Right.
But it even COVID, they talked about COVID, you know, it was a reset. Like we were completely cut off, but they also explained that part of it too is we weren't really separate because we had the technology to be connected, and technology isn't all bad.
Right.
That there is a reason why we have it, and that's kind of the global consciousness type direction that we've been going towards for a long time.
Yeah, and it's all kind of like a rebalancing with you know, with the earth, but I think also humanity, because we are entering, you know, like a higher dimension, this new earth, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, um, where it's kind of rebalancing, and we're heading more into like a heart-centered society. So all of these hard lessons that we're kind of going through is really to bring that awareness and to give that wake-up call that a lot of people need.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like shifting because we're getting a lot of destruction, and you know, like COVID, so many people passed away with that too. So
They actually even told me recently, and I mean, kind of everything else but us, that, I mean, part of COVID was that there is actually another physical planet that's been in the works, and a lot of the souls that, or spirits that left during COVID, some of them had agreed to that, which is hard for some people to hear that, especially if it's a loved one, but to go to help with setting up this new planet experience, which is, it's actually the other new Earth. So it's always interesting to see the bigger plan, or hear it. I mean,
right.
But,
I found that very cool. Like I said, I think watching a lot of like Dolores's lectures as I was getting into metaphysics really kind of helped put me on this path. So I've always found that really fascinating. Do we want to do some personal readings? I think we're going to be on for about 40 minutes. Keep it around an hour. So
yeah, I've been starring some. If you want to include political, I'm open to that.
Let's do. I did politics yesterday. I'm doing it tomorrow. Let's do personal today.
Okay.
I don't like juggling between like the two energies. It kind of gets scattered.
Yeah, I could see that.
So, if anybody has any personal questions, go ahead and write them in the chat, all caps. If you can, a couple emojis, and me and Jason will get to as many as possible. I don't think we're doing any specific order, so.
Yeah, I think we're going to do, if you were with us last night, Scott and I think we're going to go a little bit faster tonight. So,
okay.
Kind of turn and burn, just so everyone knows.
I'm all for it. Mary Lloyd. I got a new deck with that, like an animal totem deck. I'm gonna pull from Mary.
Okay. I got a couple. I tried to use them last night, but I have an herbal one. It's herbal astrology. I think I have to kind of study those a little bit because they're kind of complicated.
You know, I have several decks that like I'll get them and they don't resonate with me at first, but then like after I sit on the shelf for a little bit, I go back to them and then they're really powerful and I really enjoy them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just not the right time, or you have to do a bit of the studying into the cards.
Yeah, even the booklet, it's like it tells you the whole history of the particular herb and like tribal cultures and how it's been used and everything. So if anything, I'll learn more about herbs. I know some of them, like ginger and all that, but
yeah. Oh, interesting. Mary, I just threw a card for you, and I got the Coyote, which is the revealer of truth. And the message from Spirit for you is not to take things too seriously. Make time to play, Great wisdom comes from laughing and at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Yeah, and and that's really kind of what I was feeling too. The words wisdom came to me. I feel like you're a wisdom seeker, Mary. I don't know if you have a role as a teacher or sharing wisdom with other people, but yeah, sometimes you know we don't take life we take life too seriously, and life's this is just saying, sure, you can go out there and find the wisdom, but don't allow it to affect you so much that it's bringing you down. Find that lighter side in life, and that more innocent and playful side, and really making sure that you're taking care of yourself. um, your self-care is what I'm kind of feeling with this message for you, Mary.
I got the protection card. So along with having a little bit of fun, this is just kind of an affirmation that you are like an oak, you're strong, grounded. And I think it's interesting about the lightning bolts. Oaks can withstand even lightning strikes. They actually absorb them into your body. So that's just showing that, you're resilient and that you take things in and able to, maybe possibly you've had to deal with a lot of things for other people. And so definitely that kind of fits with it's okay to have some fun. It's time to find a little joy.
Yeah.
Run through the forest if you want to.
Yeah, and even with those hard times, like I said earlier, those hard times that we experience are really those that we can grow and learn from the most, to find that wisdom. So don't allow the hardships of life to drag you down. Have fun and do those things that you love, Mary.
Yeah. I keep hearing attention equals creation.
Yeah. Being mindful of the kind of energy that you're putting out into the universe.
So
thank you, Mary.
Rose, do you see a relationship? I am ready for a good man.
I feel energy around a relationship with you, Rose. It doesn't feel like it's happening tomorrow at 2. It feels like it's a little bit out there still. But I definitely feel like there's a relationship coming in. Timing's always a bit hard. I'm saying the number 2 could be like 2 months. It could be 2 years. I don't feel like it's 2 months, but I'm almost feeling like maybe it's next year, like February. It feels like it's out there a little bit, Rose, but I definitely feel energy around a relationship coming in. I'm going to throw a couple cards for you, though. Oh, I love this. I have right now, Rose, you have the Fool, so it's the beginning of a new adventure for you. So it's an exciting, like I said, a lot of new transitions for a lot of people in our community right now. But I definitely feel like, you have a very loving vibration, a very open heart with this Queen of Cups. You have a lot of love to give somebody. We do have the Lovers coming in here for you. So this would be a partnership, and then the Empress. So, birthing this into creation. So the energy that I'm feeling is, manifest this relationship. Like I said, the number 2 feels significant for me. But yeah, focus on those things that you want to attract in a relationship and what you're looking for in a partner. I definitely feel like there's energy there, and it's going to be a really wonderful new beginning for you, Rose. What are you picking up?
Yeah, I always tend to get the kind of downer messages, but this is negating what you said. Well, it's important. So this is kind of the encouragement that you should maybe take some time just to look within. Like Kevin said, this is a time when we're kind of being forced to do it in different ways where we can't see what's going to be happening, and it's for a reason. So just acknowledging that this is time to do work on ourselves. And so maybe I feel like Spirit's kind of saying, work on some things with you in terms of letting go of fear and regret and shame and even maybe past relationships.
Yeah.
And we'll handle the rest. So you do that, they'll find you the good man. With that, though, I think this is also about doing the reflection and illumination. I almost want to say that there's someone in your life that you haven't considered to be a possibility. And just by doing this inner work, that it'll become clear to you who that might be. So just doing that, and then definitely positive. It's a time for transcending. So in my sense, this is all about tapping into the inner child, the mythical, the magical, believing anything's possible. And then alongside doing all this inner work, transcending the past and looking towards the present and the future, and things will come into place. So
yeah. I hope that resonates with you, Rose.
Yeah. I always kind of feel like I don't know if it's the person, but it's what? I have to do work on myself first? What?
Yeah, it's so important not to bring your past relationships in.
Yeah, it is.
Want to attract the energy, so
yeah. It's all about the attract that you attract. So, thank you for the question, Rose.
Yeah, thank you, Rose.
Nancy.
All right.
Hello, Nancy. Can you tell me what my finances will be over the next 2 months?
I definitely feel like the finances, they feel like they're a bit stuck over the next 2 months is what I just kind of heard. So I don't know if things have been a bit of a struggle for you for a little while. I feel like there's like the energy shifting, but I feel like it's still kind of in that place for the next 2 months, Nancy. But I'll throw a couple cards for you. Yeah, I get that there's good news coming, but the card that nobody loves is, this is card of moderation, but it's also the card of being patient a little bit with the Temperance card. So I do feel like there's good news coming in. It's going to take a little bit of time, and then I have the Five of Swords here, which is it can be feeling a little lost or defeated. But I do get that there's going to be great opportunities for you in the future with the Empress. She's pregnant with a whole bunch of possibilities. So again, I'm getting like that message to really manifest, whether it's a new job or, manifesting abundance in your life, Nancy. It feels like it's a little bit of a struggle for a little bit, but I do feel like there's going to be like a good surprise coming in not too far in the future. What are you thinking?
So we have a little bit of a storm spirit coming. But this can go two ways. So if you're asking about finances, I'm assuming that it's not the best right now. And then according to what Kevin's saying, just recognizing that even with the storm, sometimes it's necessary for the cleansing and clearing we were talking about in order to set priorities and really turn within, and also acknowledging what comes after the storm, regeneration, rejuvenation. So just having that, looking to that, seeing the positive, the silver lining of that. Interestingly, this always happens with me. The same card kind of pops out all the time. So really the answers are within. So just really trusting your intuition and trusting your team to help you. They are there to support you. So if you are feeling a little lost, just getting into stillness, asking for some help and guidance, and just trusting that they will be there to help you. And I mean, happy ending, blessings.
Yeah.
So no matter what's happening right now, and just, having faith that all will be well, it will. So,
Sometimes spirit brings a storm in our life to clear out what's no longer serving us and to put us on that right path for the blessing. So that definitely resonates with me.
And it's the time. I think it's that. I think all these readings are like for everybody right now.
Yeah. I always tell people that too. We don't get to your question. There may be a universal message for the whole group or for you as well. I always tell people, take those messages that really resonate with you, and the ones that don't, you can leave them. But yeah, a lot of messages for everybody in these sessions, which I always really love. Thank you, Mary.
Let's see, next. Jay Roberts.
Okay.
Is there anything I need to know about for this year?
I feel like Jay Roberts has maybe been feeling a little stuck, but I feel like she's at a crossroads. And it feels like one of them is kind of like the same, or there's like a wonderful new opportunity. And so I'm feeling like when you're at this crossroads, Spirit's really kind of guiding you to take this new opportunity, even if it's a little bit scary. Sometimes letting go of the control, or just letting go and going with the flow and just taking that leap of faith can be so hard, and trusting that Spirit's going to be with us to guide us. But I feel like there's a wonderful blessing with this opportunity coming up for you, if you're open to it, Jay Roberts. Yeah, and I get the Two of Wands here. Yeah, the Two of Wands is all about like planning your future. So, it feels like there's still some action and work that's needed to plan this bright new future for yourself. Still some work going into it. With that, I have the King of Pentacles here, who's really grounded and stable. Could be like an own business. Very kind of business minded. And I get the Six of Cups, which is memories of the past and nostalgia, bringing in joy. But yeah, I'm feeling really strongly about, a new opportunity opening up for you that feels really exciting if you're open to taking that, Jay Roberts. Feels like it doesn't feel like it's too far off, maybe sometime in the fall. What are you picking up, Jason?
I'm kind of getting the same sense. Oops. Discovering truth. You stand in light of truth. I almost want to say that you have pretty strong vocal either friends or relationships around you that tend to sway you in particular ways because they want you to be in their life forever. I don't know if that resonates a little bit. And this is ultimately encouraging you to trust your heart, trust your spirit team, trust what's being all these opportunities and things that are coming before you. That's kind of, I call it the slap in the face from your spirit team. Like, stop questioning it, just trust this. And ultimately, this is all about embarking on new adventures. So the door is really opening up to you. If you've had to struggle just by virtue of making the choice to change and go in this direction, that automatically opens up your guides to be able to help you in other ways. Because ultimately they can't interfere in your life. We have to make some choices in order for them to get the green light to go. So recognizing that this decision could open up a lot for you, even if you don't understand or see exactly where you're going. And new beginnings.
Yeah.
Daffodil Fairy. So if anything, these are the wake up, and follow your heart.
I love those cards. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
And the messages that came through them too. Jay Roberts says, sounds good so far.
Follow the fairies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to pick some.
I don't think I can.
Oh,
I can't click on them because I'm not a co-host or an admin.
Okay.
Ness.
Hello, Ness.
Love a card pull. I have a strategy to plan out the drawing and then write for my creative writing project. Love guides and feedbacks. Appreciate it.
Oh.
I did a reading for Ness not too long ago, so I don't remember a lot of like specifics when I'm in that intuitive state. I try to like really clear out, but yeah, I know that she's writing a story, so I think she just wants any advice from spirit on this. No, if we do this again, Jason, just make me a co-host on StreamYard beforehand, and I can help with the question form.
Okay. Still learning the StreamYard too, but that's good to know.
It takes time, yeah. It's definitely sometimes I even have a hard time with it. You know, especially it's just juggling a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like on a solo show. I'm kind of seeing like a lightning bolt, Ness. And for me, it kind of feels like new ideas, new insight. It's almost like an aha moment I'm feeling like with that lightning bolt, like where things maybe have felt a little bit stuck. It's like there's like a creative streak coming in with that. And I'm getting to Ness. I don't know if this is helpful or what you're specifically asking, but I do feel like making sure that you're taking enough time to take care of yourself, because I feel like you're busy and you're pulled in a lot of directions. And then sometimes when it's hard to write, there's so many distractions. It's hard to get like that clear feedback. Because I kind of feel like you're being pulled all over the place. You know, I have the Two of Pentacles here, which is, you know, in this deck, it's kind of like wavy waters or just feeling a little bit unbalanced, feeling a little stuck. You know, the number 2 is significant here because I have two twos next to each other. Yeah, kind of feeling like you're kind of stuck in at a crossroads. But I'm just feeling like with the 6 of Pentacles here, like there's a lot of give and take. You know, maybe not being so hard on yourself if it's not like if you're feeling a little blocked or stuck. But I'm feeling like with this, making sure that you're, you know, taking a bit of a break and, you know, doing those things that you love to really get that inspiration. I hope that that's helpful.
Yeah, I always think it's important to point out that breath and spirit, like the history of the word spirit, is all about breath. So just remembering to breathe, and that's you know, where we get inspiration or being inspired. So recognizing that that's an essential part of creative process of just breathing. So I think that that just kind of popped in my head, because we often forget to breathe even when we're doing creative things. So just yeah, I think that it's all about, this is a first light card. So definitely beginning a new cycle. I have a sense, because I know that drawing, if you mean drawing in terms of drawing, drawing, which I guess like that would be the only way to interpret that.
Mm.
Using that time and that space to open yourself up to spirit and not having it be a matter of necessarily feeling like you have to write about what you draw, if that makes sense. Anything creative is a type of meditation, so we open up to spirit. So really actually just maybe tuning in to your guides and your team in terms of, because you're never writing alone. This is also a period of transformation. So just to confirm, Kevin, it looks like there is going to be a sudden aha, like, oh, I haven't seen this all along. It's been there. I think the blue is really important just in terms of spirituality and calm and stillness. So just having the faith, if you don't know where you're going, that's okay. You don't have to have a finished project before you actually get there. And activation. So all about activation, your inspiration, and just breathing. And I think that this is just a reassurance that all is well. You don't need to worry. Just have faith that you'll be led in the best way possible. I keep hearing you're not writing alone. So acknowledge that.
Yeah. And I love that the advice about breathing too, because it's like breathing and kind of like grounding and aligning to receive that guidance from spirit and that inspiration. Yeah. I hope that resonates, Ness.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Let's see next. Honey.
Connie B.
How are my sons? Oh, go ahead.
Can I just ask Connie real quick, what's your son's name? Names are helpful for me to kind of focus, if you don't mind sharing. What were you going to say, Jason? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was just going to read the lesson.
Oh.
Or the lesson.
Go for it.
It's okay.
Okay.
That was a weird slip. I'm going to read the lesson.
I feel like it's going to go good. I'm not sure what the situation is with this court, Connie, but I'm feeling like excitement, like good news. If you're ready, Jason, go ahead. I like to kind of like tap in as I'm shuffling. So if I say stuff but if you're ready, go ahead. I'm getting, I definitely feel like there's been a lot of challenges and a lot of going within, introspection work, kind of releasing what's no longer serving him. Yeah, it feels like he's been kind of moving through some drama. I get the Four of Pentacles, so this is kind of holding on to security, moving into calmer waters where times have been really kind of turbulent and kind of dramatic up and down. We're moving to calmer waters and moving to shore. And then I get Nine of Cups here, so wishes being fulfilled. I do have the Seven of Swords next to that too, so this is usually maybe somebody trying to be underhanded with your son or trying to plot something, but I feel like it's going to go good. I with wishes coming true and things really kind of calming down.
Okay, so this first one, the Forest Temple, Enlightenment. The weird thing about this is I know that this hasn't been the most pleasant experience for you, but there have been some lessons learned in it. So just recognizing that your son may have, I'm not picking up on the conditions of the court, but you and he might have learned some valuable things just about each other in this process. So just, even though it's not the ideal situation, just recognizing that you have been given a not better outlook, just more information about each other and just how you've been dealing with this together. So taking that forward, I also think it has something to do that you've learned about the legal system for some reason through this process, whether it be you or him or both of you, that may not necessarily be as supportive than you would have expected it to be, but nevertheless staying focused, holding the course, knowing that you're supported, and just having the faith that all will go as you want it to, having gratitude and acting as though it's already done, it's already finished, and all is well for him. Also leadership. So I feel like this is either for you if you're highly involved or him, that it's important to speak your mind, in terms of not letting things happen as they will in some instances, that sometimes you may need to, or he may need to step forward in order to assert some ideas or some information that may be important for the overall outcome. So just being willing to take an active versus a passive role.
I saw in the chat that she was saying that his girlfriend was kind of psycho, which maybe was that Seven of Swords.
Oh.
But with that too, it's kind of like you had the Enlightenment card, and I had did I have the Hermit? I feel like I had the Hermit, which is like that introspection and kind of going within, and it being a bit of a hard time, but a lot of lessons to be learned, and probably a lot of wake up calls with relationships after this.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, that makes more sense.
The most benevolent outcomes for your son, Connie.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like I feel good about it.
Yes. And yeah. Maybe different choices in the future. That's all as far as I'll go. All right. Next.
Want to do one or two more?
Sure.
Oh, I can do two more if you're
Okay.
up to it.
I'm ready. Why not? Scott. Starting a job on Monday.
Taro asks backwards, wants to know if your PayPal is up or if you can share it.
Oh.
Do you have it on in your
your
description box, or is it on your about section?
I think it's on my about section. Yeah, I don't get a lot of donations, so I don't.
I like to, if anybody feels inclined to do that, I keep them in all my description box. I have like the same script. I just copy and paste it. And if I have, guests, I'll put their information in. So
yeah, I think I did put yours in mine. I just didn't put mine in mine. Oh well.
He has it in his about section on his channel.
Yeah.
Carol asks.
Yeah. Thank you for asking. I think it's Discover Your Light 11. I think. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Scott's starting a job on Monday. I'm feeling like it's going to be a really good opportunity for you, Scott. I feel like it takes a little while to get your footing there. That makes sense, when we started a new job and, there's a lot of that uncertainty with it, or, being around new people and kind of just finding your footing and everything with it. But I feel like it's really good. I think we lost Jason. I feel like it's pretty good, though, afterwards. So I'll throw some cards on it.
Oops.
There he is. I was wondering if I was in StreamYard jail. It's like you lost power.
What's funny is it's a new mouse. It has a button on the side, and I have to. And last night with Scott, we were like ending the show, and I kept hitting it and like leaving, and he thought I was like, "Okay, time's up." So it's just funny it happened while he's right here. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's a sign.
I got really good cards for you, Scott. I'm getting the Chariot, which is also the month of August. This is like feeling victorious, charging full steam ahead. So a lot of changes, a lot of momentum with it. Like I said, it does feel like with the Temperance card, it's figuring everything out, kind of finding your place at this new job. But Two of Cups, so coming to an agreement, making that deal. And then I have the Star card here for you, which is hope and happiness, optimism. So with the Star card, I feel like you're a bright, shining star at this new job once you get the footing. And I think you're going to be really happy there. I feel like it's an exciting new adventure for you. I think you're going to really enjoy it. What are you picking up?
Yeah, I think it's Dragonfly Spirit change. Best possible outcome. I don't know. It's like spreading your wings in different ways that maybe you haven't necessarily done before. And I have a sense of what you're going to be doing. I don't know how mystical plays into your new role, but maybe just keeping, that kind of foundation as you go through the training, possibly, because I know you said you have to do some licensing or something like that. The narrow pathway, just tread thoughtfully. Don't make quick judgments or decisions. Maybe, oh, this was a bad decision, or I shouldn't have done this, or whatever else. Just trusting and just watching, just being sure that you don't make any quick decisions along the way. And that there's a lot of potential in this job. So maybe you'll be doing more once you get your foot in the door. So good opportunities will open up. I know this is also the inactive volcano. This is always an encouragement, maybe just to ground yourself a little bit before going in. This has to do with like pent up emotions and other things like that. So just being aware of yourself emotionally in that environment too.
Good luck, Scott. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Just don't blow up.
Don't blow up. Right?
Let's see.
All right. Do one last
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or if you want, we can do this and like a message for the collective group. I know we had a lot of questions. So.
Sure.
I'll read it. I'm sorry. Hi, Jason, Kevin. I'm interested in starting a lifestyle blog on eating right for your blood type. Do you see any success with that? Thanks. And I must feel like it's something that you're really passionate about and drawn towards, Buffy. So I would say, if you're excited about it and, it brings you joy sharing this information with people, go for it. Because I feel like ultimately, if you're happy, it's a success in its own.
Yeah, there's really an encouragement now for us to be pursuing what drives us and makes us passionate. With this shift, I will say that monetary won't be as important as it once was. That's kind of the old structure is passing away. So there has been a reassurance that we can do what we love, and that's good. That's fine. We don't have to worry about anything else. So if anything, pursue
if we can get out of our own way and just trust that Spirit's aligning us on the right path that, that makes us happy, a path that's serving us, and then just having faith in that Spirit's behind us to support us.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not like a huge fortune, but, it just asks, for your needs to be met and, your comfort. But I feel pretty good about it. I'm going to throw a quick card for Buffy, but I am feeling like that encouragement from Spirit to do it.
Well, I'm not going to hold back. Success.
Good.
The end. Yes, so blessings are with you. This is all about, it's kind of like that secret spring, that place where that secret place within you that holds all your desires and wants and dreams, and that's where you are. So definitely trusting that you'll be taken care of. I always hear like, you make this decision, we'll do the rest. And sometimes, so this is definitely the case with you. It's just the encouragement, staying focused, holding the course. Don't let the naysayers get in your way either. Just really trust what's unveiling or coming to you. There are always people that have their own intentions when there's giving suggestions otherwise, and why we shouldn't be doing things. Just respect that that's their viewpoint, but just stay focused on what you're doing. And interesting illumination. So this is about reflecting, just acknowledging where you are and this opportunity that's before you and where you've been, in order to kind of really bring everything into focus in terms of this is a good chance for you. The cards are in your favor. Literally, I didn't mean to actually make that pun. So yeah, I think it's going to be good for you. Just trust that you'll be successful.
Yeah, and my cards validate exactly what you pulled up, Jason. I do feel like I am getting a message for you, Buffy, just to take that leap of faith and get out of your own way. Let go of the fear. It's scary when we want to try something new, or I don't know if you've been doing this for a while, but just get out of your own way and just like charge full steam ahead. Because I'm getting, this is a card of like conflict or fighting, feeling a little stuck or defensive. And then like, it's been a bit of an uphill battle for you, is what I'm feeling like with these cards. And with that, I was just getting the message, get out of your way. I do feel like there is a bit of, you had like the illumination and with the Four of Swords, this is like a card of meditation or kind of going within and brainstorming, retreating a little bit, but it's brainstorming still with it. And I do feel like it's more than just the eating for your right blood type, Buffy. I feel like, that may be a start and then it's kind of like building and building. But I'm getting like success. This is the card of abundance, sitting pretty, and, King of Pentacles, which is success and, like being very business minded and collecting that pentacle, that coin. So it feels like it's a bit of a, there's challenges along the way, but, if you stick with it, stay focused, there's definitely a lot of rewards for you.
Yeah. Right when you said that there might be more to it, I got this big bell went off. So there are a lot of ways in which people are following their passions right now. So Buffy, just going with it, because with the shift that's going on, consciousness is going to change a lot. So there's going to be a new awareness for health and spirituality and all these different teaching and learning. So don't question what you're doing, because ultimately things will be unveiled as things go along. So what Kevin just said, like, this is going to be much more, but just continue on the path that you're going. That came in like loud and clear. So
I'm feeling like the number 3 with that too. So it feels like 3 big ideas, maybe with writing, or 3 projects. One of them maybe the blood type, but it feels like it's more and different though too. So
all right.
You want to pull a card for the collective group? What Spirit wants us all to know?
Sure. I will do that.
And we'll have to do this again, Jason. I'll have you on my channel next time.
Okay. Yeah, sounds great.
Maybe we can do something in August. I've had a lot of my niece I was taking care of my niece, and she just went back with her parents on Monday. So it's been kind of hectic for me the last month or two, but August, I definitely feel like just kind of like doing a lot more work and really getting out there a lot. So if you're free in August, I'd love to have you on.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd love to. I think the next month will be interesting.
I think so too. Next few months. It feels like, and I typically do political or world event stuff. But it is kind of like a collective energy too. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I feel like winter feels like it's decent, and then like spring feels like it's really heavy again too. So
yeah, it's I don't know. It's happening, but it's exciting at the same time. So
it's exciting. Yeah, get your popcorn ready. But it is going to be a bit weird and a bit of a sideshow circus act too. But I think some of it's going to be very sad, but some of us at other points might be like, "What the f is going on?" Like this is crazy.
There's just the emphasis attention equals creation, so it's easier said than done, especially when you're in the midst of the storm. But yeah, and interestingly, the card I pulled was Inner Peace.
Okay.
So really, really not getting caught up in the storm it's already been swirling around for a little bit. But just grounding yourself. This is a time right now, and this has been coming through a lot when I've been calling it kind of like the cocoon incubation period. Like people's businesses are slowing down. They don't know why. Things are slowing down. People aren't able to tap into the future as well because it's all foggy. It's all on purpose so that we ground ourselves for what's yet to come. So this is actually a really important card for everybody.
And I'll just piggyback off of that. I love the deck, this deck, and I'm going to share the message out of the book, but I have Inward Revolution. So this is kind of going within. There's a pyramid in here too. So for me, it's like going within and accessing that inner wisdom. But the card Inward Revolution is a message for the way of your heart. You are always moving forward, even when you feel like you're going backwards. Your path may seem to go up and down or inward and outward. The spiral is a symbol of your soul journey. It represents the cyclical adventure in your heart center. You will continually revisit aspects of your life to bring you to deeper understanding. Difficulties and challenges can command a greater focus as they help to build bigger and better dreams and desires. Each cycle of life is an important stepping stone that expands into the next. Your life will only feel authentic when you come to your own conclusions. An inward revolution will open you to the wisdom of your soul. It is a path we must all take to truly know and love ourselves. From this place, we move outward back into the world, empowered with our soul's wisdom. You are worthy of all you desire, no matter where you are in the spiral. And I think that message is so fitting with a lot of the messages that we were picking up tonight of, like all this change and transformation and really letting go the things that don't serve us and just like the transformation of doing what your heart is calling you to do. So many people are changing their careers and really focusing on what brings them joy rather than the money. So it's a card of introspection and going within and opening up that heart center and connecting with that inner wisdom.
Yeah. I also like the idea that, interestingly, part of the hypnosis in QHHT is visualizing a white pyramid of light around you for protection. So even using that, people who are here, if you are concerned, just imagine that white pyramid of light around you as protection. And it works. It's powerful. Yeah. Even loved ones, if you're worried about them, the same thing.
Send them that white light of pyramid to protect them.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing with the Reiki. For me, I call on Archangel Michael a lot. And for me, when I do this kind of work, it's not a pyramid, but I kind of view it as like a shield in the aura space that's kind of reflected. So anything that anybody tries to send at me, I kind of, send it back out. So it doesn't cling with me. So it's kind of like the same concept. But.
Yeah. Well, it was great doing this.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
And thank you, everybody's been here. Yes, I'm less nervous than the tribute show for Mel. That's it.
I think that's the first time I kind of met you, even though there was a lot going on.
Yeah. I got so nervous. I guess I don't know. It was weird. I was like, I described it as like, those rides where you don't know when you're going to drop. It was like, we didn't know when we were going to be put on. Anyway, yeah, that was interesting. But
it's you know, sometimes too, you know, you have a lot of different personalities in this community too that, you know, can be intimidating, I think,
Yeah.
but just kind of just knowing that all of us have this big open heart and that we're one community, I think
Yeah.
kind of helps calm the nerves and helps
Yeah.
you get out of your way a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can totally understand it. Even YouTube is still kind of new for you as well, right?
Yeah. It is.
Hmm. So it
Yeah.
takes time. All of my subscribers will tell you, um, you know, sometimes I still don't feel the most comfortable with going live and doing YouTube, but you get the hang of it. You get a lot more comfortable just
Yeah.
getting out of your own way and just going for it, just
Yeah.
being that authentic you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anybody that's watching on my channel wants to subscribe, what's your channel name, Jason?
It's at Discover Your Light.
And it's your name at the beginning of it, right? Jason Tempinski.
The channel, it's actually just the
Discover Your Light.
Discover Your Light. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, pretty simple. And
Be sure to go over and subscribe if you haven't already.
yeah, and if you're on my channel, hop on over to Kevin's Loving Vibrations too. His information is actually below the video on my channel, so you can look that up there. Well, I hope everyone has a good night, and thank you again, Kevin.
Yes, it was fun. We'll do it again.
Okay, sounds good. All right, good night, everybody.
Blessings, everyone.
Oh, thank you. I love you too, Bet. I love everybody. Okay, bye.